Why aren't you dancing, you monkey?
Welcome to the channel. I'm going to do this for an hour. Okay.
The opener. There you go. People will stay on now.
Nobody leave. Retention to the max.
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy, we working hard for this money.
Send us to the internet.
Hi guys, welcome back. Table One Podcast. Co-host Jesse Young, other co-host Art Parman, and then we have Rampage on today. Ooh, Rampage.
Hello.
So, how old are you? I want to say you're 26, 27. Is this
27,
right?
yes.
27 years
27.
old.
Good read.
So, are you aware of the video game that was turned into a movie called Rampage?
I found out after.
Okay, I was hoping that you took that and you're like,
No.
this is me.
I wish.
Okay.
My demeanor is nothing like a fucking gorilla that wants to kill.
Well, I mean, there's a rat in there too.
Oh.
There's a rat and I think an
An
alligator maybe?
Like a Godzilla that they're not allowed to say is Godzilla because of international trademark. But he looks like Godzilla.
It was like one of those arcade booth
Yeah,
things, the stands and with the toggle and stuff.
Yeah, correct. And they also made it into a movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I wouldn't suggest it, but it's a fine movie.
That one's a recent one, right?
Yeah, maybe like 6 years ago, would be my guess or something. But I was really hoping your mom was just a huge fan of the video game, and she's just like, I fucking love Rampage.
That would be very atypical for an Asian household, immigrant household, to be like, yeah, let's get really dive deep into this one.
But anyway, thanks for being here. Do appreciate it.
Happy to be here. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So typically on this show, or show seems weird, we kind of take our viewership back to when you were a tiny Rampage, maybe just like a tuffle, like I don't know, like a
Tuffle.
A kerfuffle.
The rat?
Yeah.
I was a rat.
And find out how you got into poker or gambling or this obscure, awful, amazing life we have.
Yeah, we like to go back a little bit further than your first poker hand. And was there something in your childhood where your family played games a lot that got you kind of interested, or you have a unique view on the world that made you kind of into who you are today? Because not everybody just, you know.
Well, I'll say my first early little sprinkle into poker was when ESPN actually showed it in the summers. And I specifically remembered, I specifically remember Maria Ho. And I was like a 8-year-old, 11-year-old boy or something. I'm just like, ooh, this is cool. Maria's on, she's here. I think I had a little crush on her, actually. I don't think I've ever told her this, but that's funny that I just remembered this.
Yeah, shout out to Maria Ho. She was gambling age when he was 8. Good pickup line.
Inspiring.
Do you still have a crush on her? Because I can get you an introduction.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I'm sure you have her number, but I'm just saying.
Please put in a good word for me.
Oh,
we'll see.
Do you actually still have a crush on her? It's okay. I think she's seen somebody, but
she might be seeing somebody. Yeah, you're right.
I've heard.
I've heard through the grapevine. No, I don't think I've played any games and stuff. I think I've always just wanted to make videos and make content for sure. I started making videos when I was 12 years old, playing video games, and that's where the Rampage name came from, because I was joining a Call of Duty clan. I was like, oh, what could be a cool name that was simple and clean, and no one took Rampage, which was a Little League baseball bat at the time. So I just added it into my username, and that turned into my YouTube channel, trying to make Call of Duty videos, gaming videos. And I remember I'm a 12 or 13-year-old kid speaking into a microphone, talking over Call of Duty gameplay, and nothing good comes out of that. So that kind of tried and failed, and I've just been trying to make videos ever since I was 12, and here we are. So then I've tried and failed 10 different YouTube channels, pretty much mainly through video game stuff, hopped around from different games. I was never talented at them, but I just tried. Went through Call of Duty, went through Fortnite, went through Madden Mobile. That was my first attempt, and I started making money from it in college. So that was cool. I thought I was the man when I was a sophomore in college, making $1,000 a month off YouTube. That was really cool.
That would make you a man in college. By the way.
I was like, I'm the man. I can buy beers for days.
And you're just playing Madden, which is cool too. You're just $1,000 a month to play Madden.
So where'd you go to college?
I went to UMass Amherst, from Boston. So then the Madden Mobile thing didn't work out. It lasted for a solid year, and then fast forward to my senior year, was when MGM Springfield opened up, like 30 minutes south of my college. And I just turned 21, and the stars kind of aligned where I just hopped into playing poker. But before that, I had like a whole gambling problem. Very unlike my demeanor at all. Like I just stumbled into this problem and played blackjack a lot. And
let's stumble around together. How did that problem get started?
Sophomore year, I ran into some good buddies in college who loved sports betting. And I remember the specific time, like early on, I was meeting up the guys, and they're just like watching some college football game on, and they're talking about like a money line and odds and like sweating the game really hard. And I just really loved the whole camaraderie around it and the gambling aspect, because I've never gambled before up until that point. So I remember like my very first question was like, what is a money line? And it all started downhill from there. From there, they taught me about like sports betting, and then I got signed up for an online gambling site to play blackjack or whatever, and they were teaching me the rules.
Oh no.
And then so I put in like, let's say like $200 or something into the account, and I spin the blackjack up to like,
as it happens,
4K or some outrageous number over the course of that night. Just like firing.
What, over one night?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
One night. It was a huge sun run. And then my friends were really responsible, where they're like, we're taking your laptop away from you for the night. You cannot play this at all, and you can't touch it. What they
Good
did,
friends.
I know, they are good friends. So I was like, okay, this is responsible. What they didn't know is that you could play on your phone.
Oh no.
So I just decided to keep playing till like 5 a.m. That 4K turned into 0 real quick.
Did we redeposit?
Not that night.
Okay.
But yes, over the course of the lifetime, I have clicked the rebuy button many times.
Do you remember the site? I'm just curious. Like I dabbled that in college as well. Great that I'm a lot older than you, but
It was either BetOnline or Bravado, one or
okay.
the other.
Oh, okay, yeah.
One of the easy ones.
Oh, so you could have accidentally stumbled into poker from there, but you were too dedicated to your blackjack habit.
Yeah, blackjack's way more fun. You just get to win immediately.
It is way more
There's no skill or strategy or thinking.
You just get cards and scream at the screen, and then either you win or lose. You
Scream
at the
double.
screen.
Yeah. Maybe that should have been your calling for videos. Just if you would have lasted a little longer, maybe just
I tried.
online black. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I tried making blackjack videos during COVID. There's a channel out there called Splitting Deuces, and we just filmed stuff in my house, and we were really trying to do something during COVID. That was another experiment that tried and failed.
So did you have roommates during college? You live at home, you have a dorm room? What's
Yeah, I was in the dorm. So that's why I got introduced to so we lived like in a 4-person unit in my sophomore year. So it was me, my buddy, and then 2 other people that I didn't know at the time. And then I got acclimated into like their whole friend group, and everyone came over, and we had like a good space to like hang out. So then everyone would sometimes people would watch games at our place, and that's how I learned about gambling and all that. So I got introduced that way.
What was the track before gambling pulled you aside? I know like streaming stuff was always the goal, but like you went to school for not streaming, I hope.
Not streaming. I didn't study streaming. My freshman year I was a chem major, and then I became a business major because I had no other option. Nothing else really made sense. So.
Too bad at chem, so you're just like...
Chem's tough. Yeah, that was brutal. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, math plus science? What are these letters? Sorry, I only got so far.
You got to the letters?
I got to the letters, and then we fell off track. I've got just a small sidebar. I'm helping my 9th grade daughter with geometry, and that was the hardest for me in high school. And like we are not making it through. She has an F
both
right
failing.
now. She has an F right now, and me and ChatGPT do not know the answers to the homework.
Geometry's tough, to be fair. That was the one I struggled with the most out of all the math courses. Just like angles and.
It's weird. It doesn't make sense.
No, you have to memorize theorems, right? That's what it is.
You gotta memorize theorems. There's shit where like.
SOHCAHTOA. Come on.
What's that one? I might need that.
No, let's
I'll YouTube it later.
No.
Sorry, no public math, but here's a math lesson.
And like seriously, okay, never mind.
No, that's later. That's later. That's like
It's algebra?
No,
that's like pre-calc. This is just geometry, just basic triangles, how they're congruent, how they're not. We can't figure that shit out. Anyway, if anyone has a good recommendation for a YouTube channel with geometry tips for a 9th grader, put it in the comments. because we need help here. My kid is failing, even on the retakes.
I'm pretty sure geometry is like more of an English class than math class because you have to memorize theorems and like you have to like recognize which one to use and then you have to like apply it to this stupid triangle or whatever. Yeah. And they have to like memorize what the rule is.
Yeah, well.
I didn't like it.
All right.
You're going through it.
I would love to see art teach anyone anything, in all honesty. So I just want to come over. Like, I'll help your daughter out.
Thank you.
But it's more for me to come over and just watch you try for a half an hour. And then
You'll be part 2, like the solution. I'll do 80 minutes of like trying something. You'll be the 20 minutes of the actual answer.
It's like trying to teach Art how to play bomb pots.
Jeez. Oh God, don't bankroll down. All right. So you didn't become a chemist, and I guess you're kind of in business. You know, the business of
for sure.
Streaming shit. That's awesome.
Related to business.
So you graduated, I assume?
I graduated.
All right.
Yeah, that was good.
But you were playing poker in college a fair bit, right? Because I read or I watched a video that you made that I'll probably link down below, where you talked kind of about a little bit of your come up or whatever, and it was unique to me because you're 10 years younger than I am, so your come up in poker, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to his, but like I couldn't relate to it at all. You were like, yeah, so I just started watching vloggers, like vlog poker, and then I tried to figure out what they were doing, and then I joined like a Facebook group of poker players, I think is what it was, Johnny Vibes, right? Something like that. And I was just like, it's kind of the same because like in my generation, there was like poker forums and there was like, I guess Card Runners eventually was the paywalled version of watching people vlog their sessions. But in the moment I was just like, man, poker's come a long way to where this is kind of how people are getting going. And then you're like, all right, watch the video. I got it. And then you go to the casino. Is that about?
I don't know if the "I got it" is really there. That's really impressive if people are like, yeah, I get it now. I understand.
Well, you got to have that confidence to go and risk hundreds of dollars.
I actually started making YouTube, like one, because I always wanted to make content, but two, the other main thing was because I wanted to just learn. I didn't have like a resource and have friends that could help me in some way. But, like I had one buddy that introduced me to the game, and he was like pretty good at the time. He was playing like 2-5 in college. So I just didn't want to like bother him with like my infinite questions. So I vlogged my 3rd session ever because I just wanted to learn from the comment section, because I learned that like someone's going to watch this and they're going to give me feedback and they're going to roast me. I didn't know how good or bad the information was, but it was going to be something which I would take away from. So that was actually like the whole point, was maybe I can learn from the comment section.
What were you playing on? Like mainly online?
I was playing 1-2 live.
Okay, and is that Springfield?
Yeah, okay. Springfield or Twin River in Rhode Island, which I am now banned from, but maybe unbanned because they have new ownership. But I was banned from there.
Might as well just talk about it now.
Yeah, well, how'd you get banned?
Why did you get banned from there?
I did a bankroll challenge my like first year out of graduating college, where I was like, I don't have any money, and I keep kind of winning in poker, but I have no money to my name, so I did a bankroll challenge from 1K to win 10K basically. It took me like 5 months to win 10K and won 3. Then the whole point of it was to shot take 5-10 at a 1K buy-in, put 10% of my winnings.
Oh, you like that? All right.
Yeah, and then I dusted 2 buy-ins in a solid hour and a half. So I'm tilted. I walk out of there and I call it a shithole at the end, which I still for sure agree with. It's for sure.
But under the old management, the new management, they might.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but it's for sure. It was a shithole for sure. And then, like 3 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail like, "You are permanently banned. You cannot enter the premises."
Wait, because you called it a shithole?
Probably because I filmed it too, because they don't have permission to
film.
film.
Okay, that's fair.
Filming plus shithole does not equal good on the good
it?
side of Twin River.
Okay, that kind of makes sense, but I guess we got to be careful what casinos we talk about. We would never get in trouble about saying anything about any other casinos. That's definitely never happened.
Truly love all casinos.
Wow, you guys have learned from your mistakes.
Except for the shitholes out there, like that place in Rhode Island. You're a dump.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll expect my letter in the mail shortly. All right, real quick. Do you have crypto just sitting in a crypto wallet doing nothing? Then you've probably never heard of Gauntlet. Gauntlet.xyz is a billion-dollar research company that manages risk for huge internet platforms like Uniswap, Arbitrum, Jupiter, and a ton of other ones. And how can they help you? They actually curate these things called crypto vaults. And what's a crypto vault? Well, you just put your crypto in, you get an interest rate. The interest rate depends on the supply and demand of that particular token that you put into there. It's kind of complicated, but their algorithms make it like 1,000 poker solvers are working on your side. And you get a return on crypto that was just sitting in your wallet anyway. Here, let me show you how it works. I've got 800 USDC here. I'm gonna put it into this USDC vault. The current interest APY is a little over 9%. So I'm gonna get that for a little bit and I can take it out whenever I want. Now, as you can see, they have a bunch of different vaults, a bunch of different tokens. Do your own research on all of this, which one appeals to you, but definitely don't let your crypto just sit in your wallet doing nothing. It could be here earning for you. So if you've got USDC or USDT, which if you're a poker player, you probably do, you're gonna wanna have it sitting in one of these vaults earning something for you. So head on over to gauntlet.xyz/T1 and it'll take you right to the vault page. You'll be able to check out which one looks good to you. All right, back to the show.
That's pretty funny.
So I did see your first cash. It was an online tournament, I believe, anyway. It was at least according to Card Player or Hidden Mob. I can't remember which one I looked at. In like 2020, I believe. Does that sound vaguely familiar? So you
Cashed the tournament online, yes, around that time.
But at this time, you're like 22. So you just graduated-ish, like.
Yeah. I graduated in 2019, so.
Okay. So, like, how did you get to play WSOP? I believe it was WSOP.com for your first one. Like,
I was bored during COVID. Tournament seemed cool. I wanted to stream something different and like get the hell out of the house. So I picked like a weekend with like the smallest buy-ins, and then I went to play. I just drove down to New Jersey from Boston to play, and then yeah, like the buy-ins were like $300, $400, $500 or something. I was like, okay, like I can punt this amount for content. So I went and decided to stream the whole thing, and then I ended up cashing a tournament. Yeah.
so where did you stay in New Jersey? Because like that's not the shortest.
Speaking of
couple
shitholes.
hours, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to our New Jersey listeners.
I didn't love the state. No.
The Garden State. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Garden is supposed to be supposed to smell
No,
nice too.
it's ironic, kind of like Greenland. You know.
What was the question?
So sorry. So you went down to New Jersey. Where did you stay? Did you bring any of your buddies? Was it like a grinding session with everybody, or
No, back then I still didn't really have a big circle or any circle at all in poker. I'm like very to myself, so I'm not very good with like the networking side or talkative side or social side. I was doing my own thing. I was busy with like trying to make videos on YouTube, and that was like kind of my life. So I just went by myself, and I stayed in some Airbnb.
like just over the border, so you could like geolocate in?
I have no idea. I don't know. I had my buddy at the time lived in New Jersey, but I don't know.
You didn't stay with your buddy. You're like, no, you're busy. I mean, I understand.
You didn't even tell him he was coming. COVID. He probably had
I
it.
hit him up. Yeah,
You can't. At that time, you can't stay at someone's house.
Social distancing.
That's right. One house away.
That's fair.
I don't
So
know.
your content was already kind of like picking up steam at that
Okay,
point.
what
or
the
like-
hell? We're gonna. I cashed the. I won the tournament. Okay.
Oh, you didn't just cash it?
Well, I did read he cashed one first, and then he won the next one for like $160,000.
Oh, I didn't know I cashed something before that. Okay, I didn't
Well,
want to
yeah,
breeze over.
I would forget about my first cash too if my second one was $164,000. I think I won 64.
That was cool. Yeah, I was playing along with the casualness of this. I was like, I won the tournament, guys.
I didn't do the research, clearly.
Art and I don't talk before these things. I have my plan. He has
like
his. We
it.
weave it back.
works
So
that
okay,
way.
so okay, whatever. You cashed one.
Yeah.
Let's ignore that one or whatever. But like,
Sure.
So were you gaining traction before you actually won the tournament? I mean, like, what was your viewership like, kind of going into the one that you happened to win?
I want to say I had like 20, 30,000 subscribers or something at that point.
Well, that's still a massive
I was
amount.
trying.
Right?
Yeah, but that one certainly helped. I think COVID was for sure. It was during COVID, so it was like a really good time for me because it's a really good time for me. It's hard to say that, but
COVID was sick.
No, like Brad Owen said
Hampshire-
something similar as well. Like, you know, like it was a prime like streaming time. If you got in the very beginning of COVID,
Yeah.
you tend to do very well.
New Hampshire was the first state to allow poker in, or one of the first states. So I just like took the opportunity and started vlogging and making content about poker around this niche. Back then when like no one was making any poker content and like everyone just wanted to watch videos and staying at home. So I just started posting and playing like every day, and they picked up steam because no one had anything else to watch besides me. So I was like, all right, let's just do something. So they were forced to watch my videos if you liked poker, and then then that parlayed into winning the bracelet online, which gained like some traction, and then that was a good day overall.
It was a good day overall. I won a bracelet. It was a good day overall.
I remember specifically, if you look at the timeline, I win the bracelet, then the next day I had a video already scheduled, and that was like my biggest win at that point up into my life. I was playing like 2-5 or something. I won a couple thousand or something. Oh, yes. But then I win the bracelet, then that video post, and it was just like a good combination of like, I was like, I made it. I really think I'm doing things.
That's sick. Okay, so you're a 2-5 player, stakes-wise, and then rip off 160 dimes, and the YouTube channel starts blowing up. Life's good in Rampage land.
It's a good start, yeah. It was good.
So you say like you're not good like communicating or like dealing with people or whatever. So like what stood out from besides you winning, like what stood out from like your videos to the handful of other ones who were out there? Because like clearly it's a better product.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the better product is the case. I think I just like was unrelentlessly just going to make this happen regardless. So okay. I was a big volume person on YouTube, so I would just constantly post more videos and more times than anyone else, and my idea was like, you're just gonna eventually click on this. I'm gonna force you to click on this because there's so many things to click on, and maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. But I think that was for sure a thing. And then second thing was I just didn't know how to play poker, and I still don't know. But my play style is very punty, so.
I like that. I like that because people don't see the failures. You said you did like 10 channels or whatever, and they did okay, but like not great. And I'm sure you learned something every single video that you made. I remember listening to like a Mr. Beast interview, and he was like, yeah, people always ask me the same question. They say, oh, what do I do in my videos? What do I do? What do I do? And he just tells them the same thing every time, which is like, make 100 videos, make something better every single time. And then if you're still struggling, come and talk to me. And it's the best advice ever, because if you make 100 videos, by the time you're on video 101, like you know what you're doing, and like you're not going to need his help anymore. So it's like very good. It's like a perfect way to like push people out of that question and also like give them great advice at the same time. It's like
just figure it out yourself, like geometry. You know, just keep solving these problems.
Just like geometry.
Exactly like geometry.
Yeah, just make 100 triangles. On the 101st, you'll have a fucking pentagon. Everything will be glorious.
Keeps telling you you're wrong, and then you'll eventually get it right.
Jeez. All right.
Vlog the whole thing.
Let's stop being obtuse here, guys.
Geometry jokes. Here they come. All right. What's next?
Proud of that one.
No, thanks. I was waiting for
that. Was a very acute joke. And we just dropped off 8%. Those who are still with us, check out this ad. All right, really quickly here, guys. You know that we support Phenom Poker here on Table 1, but the number one question that we get about Phenom Poker, how the hell do I deposit money? We got tired of hearing that question, so we wrote up the deposit guide for old guys for Phenom Poker. That's right, if you got money sitting in your bank account and you want to get it onto Phenom, this guide will show you how to do that. If you've got money just in a USDT Ethereum wallet, this guide will get you from there to Phenom. It's really simple. Just go to table1.vegas/Phenom. It's in the description below. Check it out. All right, back to the show.
Oh, yeah. And if you're still here, you're really acute.
All right, so God, I can't even get back into it.
You can do it. I believe in you.
All right, so after you win the $164,000, you go back and you play 2-5 and you win a couple $1,000. Viewership's like starting to skyrocket a bit. Is the plan to go back to Massachusetts, stay there, keep streaming and playing like online tournaments? I know at some point you do come to Vegas. I certainly hope so anyway.
Yes, at some point I did end up going to Vegas. You are spot on with that one.
But during COVID, like what was the plan? Like obviously just content was key, but like what?
Yeah, I was just waiting till, I've always wanted to go to, well then when I won, actually what happened was right after I decided to go, there were like other online bracelet events from a different site shortly after that.
Yes, I've heard
and
of
then
them.
I flew to Cabo to play them because I was like, oh, I won one, let's win another one. So I just did like a solo random trip to Cabo for like a week to grind these other tournaments, and I quickly realized that maybe I got lucky once or twice there. It didn't go as well as I planned, but then I kind of just went. I went to LA later that year just to like to visit a buddy and like just try something new. I think like borders were and traveling and all that was like better around that time because everything was still locked down when I won that bracelet actually. So things kind of turned down. I went to LA and then I just fell in love with it. I went in like December when it was like gray and cold and awful in Boston, like probably the worst time of year in Boston. And then LA is just like beautiful, sunny, 70, and I just fell in love with it. So
And everybody's pretty.
everyone's pretty. Everything's just great. Went to LA, then like went down to San Diego too, just to check it out, and just made the most of my trip, just like traveling, playing a lot of poker, making content, and that was a big eye-opening experience where like there's more to life than just Boston out here, and maybe the West Coast is the best coast. I didn't know, but
So when you're
I
making
believe it.
content, you're going to casinos and setting up your
Just the
your
phone,
camera and-
yeah,
okay.
just the one phone at the time, and
Okay.
just filming and.
Where were you
doing
playing
all
then?
those
Like
things.
2-5, 5-10, or were you like getting bigger and bigger and bigger?
I wanted to play 5-10, and then on this San Diego trip, actually, on my last day there was like a private 10-20 game where I like asked the floor about, and I was like, how does this work? Like, what if I wanted to shot take this and play or whatever? And they asked the table, a group of guys, and then they let me in. What is really funny is that on this table is when I first met Nick Airball without knowing he was Airball. So this is like a very core, tight-knit group of guys that just like randomly let me in because they know that I'm like some vlogger shot taker.
Sure.
Buying for like 8K, big, like very high for me at the time. And like first hand we play like some double board bomb pot where I just get wrecked and owned by some guy. And like the table, Nick, I'm friends with Nick now, like at the time they were all like rooting for me to just die at this table just to like lose.
Dump your AK
all the
and get the
money.
fuck out of here.
Yeah,
kid.
I dump my
fair.
AK.
Shortest
lose.
vlog ever.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I sit down, I lose 8K and or however much, like 4 or 5, however much it was in a very short time span. My world is crushed. Rebuy, do all the things, and then like an hour later, Nick just bluffs the shit out of me in some like massive hand. And then there's like a video where I like film up, and I think he like flips me off or is laughing or something, like all in good nature, but it was really funny at the time. But yeah, anyways, I played a lot of poker, met Nick there before he became Airball that he was today, and but I was playing like 5-10 for the most part, 5-5, 5-10, and then I shot took once 10-20, and then I went back to Boston. My perspective is like shifted and changed. I felt like wow, there's like so many other opportunities in LA and Vegas and whatever, so quickly just like decided to move out of
The cold.
Boston in the cold.
Get out of the cold.
Yeah, I went back to the snow. Oh, God, I'll miss it.
So you picked up and moved. You have, at this time, I'm sure you have solid 6 figures like followers at this point, right? I have to imagine.
Probably at this point.
Yeah, okay.
I imagine. Yeah, there was a lot of growth for a good amount back then. Yeah, I don't know.
But your plan for vlogging was still the same. It was just content, and get people to watch. Eventually they'll click on. I mean, that was it. I mean, there was no epiphanies. It was just like, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing. This is working.
This is just the path. I've always been doing this, and it's actually, I finally get to see some progress out of failing so many other things. And like I learned from my Madden mobile channel that like was doing okay for a solid year, that like your life cycle in content and media or whatever is very short-lived. So I might as well just maximize the opportunity while you have it. You never know like when you become like irrelevant or whatever again. So let's just keep on running with this thing and invest all my time and resources into making this thing better and try to make it in YouTube.
And you must have been like pulling in a decent amount of money off of these videos. I assume they were monetized at the time, and like how did you square that with like still just playing like 2-5 and 5-10, or did you just like align your stakes with the income you were making off of?
Yeah, after 5-10, I just decided to shot take every single like live stream that was possible. So yeah, that was it.
Full Degen mode
Of course, yes.
activated.
Yeah, like back when I was playing 1-2, I had like a 3K net worth and bankroll, and I would just buy in for $300 or whatever. And then I remember my most ever Degen was when I went to Macau one time, very early on, and I only played 1-2 at the time. I didn't know. I was like, oh, I'm like visiting Hong Kong, where my family's from. Convinced my mother to come to Macau with me or whatever and play for a day, and I just didn't know that like the stakes were that much higher there. I just thought, oh, I'll just play like 1-2, film it. It'll be a good time, a good experience. And then they're like, hey, like the smallest game is 100, 200 Hong Kong or something, or 50, 100 Hong Kong, which is about like 715 stakes.
Yeah.
So I just went from 1-2 to playing 715. I had like 50% of my net worth on the freaking table, which was like horrific. And I didn't really know like what the conversion was. So I'm just betting units. I don't know what it actually is in USD.
This is made up money.
Here we go. Find out when I get home.
It could be $50, it could be $2.
There's a lot of zeros. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so that was fun.
Were those videos? I want to go back and
Yeah,
watch
no
them.
kidding.
I made a video of that, and then that whole experience. That was like the most degen ever because I just like took money. I just went to the ATM, paid like the foreign transaction fee to get cash, did all the wrong things to like get this to work out, and then put like, here's half my bank account on the table, and let's just play.
Did you win though?
I won like $200, and I was super stoked. Yeah, that was huge.
That should cover the transaction fees.
Yes. Yeah, I think I like hit and ran the 200 too. I was over it.
Just a quick break here, guys. Are you tired of playing with players like this? Not this.
No,
like this? Or this?
Or do you want to play with players like this?
Oh, wait. If you like having fun at the poker table, Table 1 is the game for you. We play high stakes, no limit, 100 blinds. And if you want to get into the game, it's actually super easy. We have a website, table1.vegas. You just go to the website, you click get a seat in the game, and fill out the form. It's that easy. It's your name, it's your phone number, it's the date that you're here, and I will personally reach out to you.
And it's only $5K minimum buy-in. You know, run it up at 2.5 and join us.
Okay, where were we? I'm losing track of our career arc here.
I'm guessing we're around 2021 right now. I don't know. Does that seem
Something
right?
like that. Yeah, I moved to Vegas. I get to meet like a lot of the people that I've watched online. So that was really nice. I remember my first ever experience, Joe Ingram like took me out like on a random personal day, and we just like walked downtown Vegas and saw the shit show and everything. So that was really nice.
How'd you guys get linked up? Or was there like
I was at the Wynn like playing a 1-3 or 2-5 game, and then him and Andrew Nemi were playing PLO. Like 5-5 PLO, and I decided to just play. I've never played PLO before in my life. So I said, this is a good idea. It's only 5-5, not a big deal. And then I walk in and like Joey has like 4K in front of him somehow, as he normally does. And then I think this was back when we still had the dividers up probably.
Jeez.
And
I miss those things.
yeah.
That's how you check.
or when you get called, you have the best hand, you just smash your hand against the glass. You like rub it in their face. It's like, oh, I like this.
It's probably better in Omaha because they have to take a minute to figure it out. There's more cards being spread.
No idea what they're holding. That's really funny.
So then you just hit it off at the table, or they recognized you and you recognized him, and
I was
YouTube
just
sparks
friendly,
flew?
yeah. I decided, Joey was like, you can sit on my right or on my left. And I decided to sit on his right for some reason.
Okay.
The bad position. I wanted
Right.
the challenge.
I was trying to figure it out.
I know, me too. Anyways, yeah, so then he was really nice to just like show me around. I think he's really nice with like up and coming content creators. He still always does this. He like takes people under his wing and like is at least like a very nice presence and guide as someone who's like been through all the content for so long.
I won't lie, he has reached out and cold emailed us, but then when I replied 6 additional times, he did not respond. So shout out to Joey Ingram. Check your inbox.
He was at the charity tournament that we were recently at, and he treated me very nicely. I bet he would reach back out. I don't know who won that tournament, but we'll find out later. I guess.
Yeah, some luck box or something, yeah. Some real sun runner. But yeah, he's super nice, and he's always happy to help with like new projects, and he's always been a good like voice of reason.
Yeah, he was on the small little poker forum that I was on when I was coming up, liquidpoker.net, which is like StarCraft transplant players, and he was like the first person he started posting like, I'm gonna do this long stream with with no shirt on or whatever, and he would just do random stuff that nobody else was doing at the time. Like, he deserves to have the viewership that he has because he was really out of the box thinking like, all right, people want to probably see me talk for 3 hours to ex-famous poker player or whatever, and it works. He's
Yeah, he got started like with the forums, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least on Liquid Poker. I never went over to like 2+2, but I assume...
What is Liquid? You said that was a transfer from StarCraft?
So there's a StarCraft professional gaming Team Liquid,
Okay.
what they're called. And then at the time when poker was booming, somebody that is like part owner of that team or like whatever is invested in that team, they were like, oh, well, let's make a poker site. So they just called it liquidpoker.net. And then, during the heyday of poker, a shitload of people were on there. Not like the mainstream ones were, but like the site was probably worth quite a bit. Like, and a lot of big names came out of there that, Elke, Havad Khan, like anyone who played StarCraft at some point was on that forum kind of prioritizing that one versus, the mainstream like 2+2. Although people, I wasn't, but other people I'm sure were just on just basically every single forum they could be on trying to learn as much as they could. I was just like found like a group of weirdos that I could kind of relate to even though I never even played StarCraft. I was more of a Warcraft 3 guy.
Found your niche.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I like those people and it felt like, you know how when you're with a smaller group of people, you feel like your voice is heard. So I'll just, stick with these guys. I don't want to scream out over here into the void of YouTube. Wait a minute. Here we are.
It's interesting to hear back then how big, it feels like how big poker was with all these forums and interactions and just like, obviously like the full tilt days. And it just seemed like the game was so big.
It was just, not to bring a classic comparison or whatever, but like poker was obviously it was played by many, but like as far as professionals or like monetizing it, it was a very small like fishbowl. It was just like, so if you hopped in it, like you felt very important, you felt very, to his point, very heard, and like as the fishbowl gets bigger and it's massive now, like it's like whatever the main event against 10,000 as opposed to like 500 back in the day, like there's still tons of content, but like it's kind of I would say less important, but it's dissipated.
Well, I would say like at least back then, right? 10K was a lot more money back then compared to now.
That's fair. Yeah.
Inflation and everything. It's kind of crazy how like the buy-ins. I also think it's crazy, and I understand it now. But I've always like complained-ish to a certain degree when you look back at like WPT main events were 10K, now the 3,500, or like nothing has really stayed at its level. But also, I can also see how like it's just unsustainable for people to play this big, because 3,500 is already like a pretty large buy-in amount. So I don't know how like it could have gotten up, but I don't know. I see both sides in terms of like back then when buy-ins were like massive. The main event is like a whatever 50K it is now or something, or 30K or something like that maybe.
Well, yeah, the PPC is kind of like the new Players Championship as opposed to the main, even though the main is always going to be the most romantic, the most coveted, I think, like of any of the events, at least amongst the public. Maybe amongst the pros, like the PPC is like going to get more glory, but
maybe.
But there could be a chance of them upping the buy-in, but I'm going to staunchly be on the other side and just keep it where it is, keep it open to the public.
Well, the game's like now it's like more accessible for sure.
Correct,
that's why these numbers are huge. And
Yeah, and some of the 3,500s, like now they're rebuys, right? So you can re-enter.
Correct.
You didn't used to be able to do that, so now you can spend 10K on a stop, but you got 3 tries, like,
Yeah, rebuys didn't really become a thing until like 2012 maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember. I moved here in 2008, and the tournaments were all just single.
They were all
bullet
freeze outs, but like specifically online, I remember the first time Full Tilt like offered. So I guess it had been before that, 2011, where they were just like, "We're gonna let you rebuy if you want to," and like it was just like this whole thing where like, what really? I can just rebuy into the 1K Monday, whatever it was called.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
Not only that, they did multi-entry.
Yeah, you could play the same tournament. You could be. They wouldn't put you at the same table, but like
this was like literally they must have gotten a letter from the DOJ that was like, "Hey, we're going to be raiding you soon," and they were like, "Guys, you know that $215 tournament? So we've raised it to $220, and you can play it 8 times simultaneously." And as soon as there's not enough people left where you get on the same table, we transfer your chips to the other stacks. That was a real thing.
It actually happened.
Back when Full Tilt was like 9 months away from failure, basically.
But to your point, you're right. Like,
that is rebuy to the max. They overly did it. That's insane.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a rebuy. Yeah, you could do that.
Imagine if sites did that now. Everyone would just be like in for 30 bullets. It's great.
Some sites do the multi-account or apparently do some multi-accounting stuff. I wouldn't say everyone does.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So like some people are already doing that anyway. They just can't combine stacks before they get to the final table.
And you get to win the whole prize pool. You get to win the entire tournament.
So speaking of WPT, your biggest score was a 25K. Please tell me how you decided to pony up $25,000.
Well, I don't know what happened. I think I was
You
sun
blacked
running.
out and just were there.
I was sunning for sure up until that point in cash and tournaments and stuff. So I just like, now I have a more jaded view after the past 2 years. But back then I was sunning and like just taking shots and things were relatively going okay. So I remember I sold like 25% on Stake Kings. So I was responsible.
Like that?
That was like the most I've ever sold. So I was like, this seems reasonable to play 18K or whatever it is.
Do you charge markup? Not that I'm judging, I'm just curious.
No,
Okay.
because I'm just shot taking and
Yeah.
stuff and didn't know where I stood. But I play it, I sell one bullet, that was the only plan. I bust in like 30 minutes as I usually do. And then there was a dinner break. And you had a former guest on dinner break. I'm just like talking things over. I'm on dinner with two friends, Joe Chong and Joseph. And I'm just like, hey guys, I kind of really want to max this one. Do you guys want you want some action, just like as a Degen friendly sweat? They both shower me. So then I'm just like, okay, now even more I want to play to spite them. Just fuck them, let's go. And so then I just like ponied it up 100% of myself to play, and then I ended up sunning the entire thing, which was really cool.
How big was that score?
7, I don't know, 800?
I think you're right. I want to say
$800,000.
Yeah.
And how was the fallout with the Stake Kings people that didn't know it was your second bullet?
They all knew it was my second bullet, and I ended up just refunding them plus 2xing their.
Hey,
Piece or
good for
something.
fucking you, buddy. That's awesome.
What a guy.
It's like more money than I know what to do with, and I only sold like 25%, and they supported me in like this shot take, so why not? Seems like a win-win.
That is awesome. And a bad precedent to set. Don't expect that from me out there, guys.
That is what that is what the Twitter people said for sure. Like Polk
You mean
was
Sean
over
Deeb?
it.
Probably.
Probably
He's always on
Deeb
there.
and Polk were like, "This is horrible. What are you
Markup
doing?"
Police is judging your refund policy.
So do you remember the process through that tournament? Because like it's a huge buy-in. I don't know if it was your biggest up to that date. I assume it would be.
Yeah, what was your bankroll then? Tell us all the dirty details right before you ponied up the 25K.
I've never rolled to play anything
Okay.
at all. Just never.
All right. So
Like if I'm saying 800K is more money than I know what to do with, I should not be playing a 25K.
That's fair, but like, so like when you sit down at the table of something you can't afford to play, and like believe me, I'm used to this throughout my career as well. Like, do you just kind of like that kind of stuff just disappears and you just play your game and you're fine, and like then it kind of hits you at night and you wake up kind of scared or.
hit you on the bubble?
Yeah, like I can't remember how many days this tournament was. I feel like it was a longer one.
Two day. It was a really long second day, but it was only a 2-day tournament.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, I knew this was on my schedule, and I had like a target number. If this 25K got over 100 players, I was like, okay, I'll just hop in. It's because the field seems like reasonable where I'm not going to be losing piles. I thought I potentially would still be losing probably. Yeah, I would be losing then, I think. I like justified it. I was like, for content, shot take, things are going well, I'm having a good year, let's just fire. So there's a lot of anticipation for me like leading up to that point, but then once I buy in and I have like the chips, I'm like, all right, whatever. It's just like time to play cards and hopefully I just run good and win some all-ins and stuff. But beforehand, I'm usually quite anxious and nervous.
Yeah.
Well, what tournament was that anyway?
25K WBT. I think it was
In December.
The win, I
WPT?
believe. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the win.
Memory serves.
2022.
So like it wasn't like the championship, but like it was a big 25K during a WPT that got a shit ton of players.
Okay, the reason I asked is because we had Brad Owen on, and I don't know if you were already WPT Global sponsored at that point, but he was like, they give us some amount of money. I hadn't used it, so I fired it all on the 50K. Like at the end
and he
of his.
spun it. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
and
sick.
No, he did.
That was really cool.
So I was just curious if there was any of that in play for you.
No, this is just all degenning.
All degenning.
For
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
And then after that, you got the deal, or you had already used up your.
Well, I was never with WPT. I signed with them I signed with them like a couple months after.
Okay.
But
cool.
I don't think.
I mean, I'm sure that helped having a nice
Extra
big ass
spin right
score.
there. Damn
It
right.
helps. Yeah.
Was that a win or was that
It's a number.
Okay. No, I didn't know if 25Ks, man. They pay a lot sometimes.
He's got like 12 wins. Hold on, let's see if I can remember. 12 wins and like $3.2 million in tournament earnings.
Beats me.
Or what do you got?
Beats me in wins, beats me in earnings, beats
And
me at the
he's only
cash
been playing
game.
for 4 years. What have you been doing, Art?
What? I'm done. My career arc is I'm on the way down. I'm the point I'm trying to get at is to where I can lose the rates that I lose in the cash game, and the content makes up the difference. Guys, this is a good time to ask you to please subscribe and please like this video.
We are all professional punchers just for you guys, for your enjoyment and attention. So at least click the button that's free.
That's right. And you don't have to smash it. You could just a little small rub on the button. It'll work.
Tap it an odd number of times and everything will be good.
Sure.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Not an even though. Even would be a disaster.
Yeah. But you can tell an even amount of friends about the pod if you're like got an odd even thing going on. You ODD? OCD?
OCD.
OCD. That's the thing.
ODD?
He's just
There's a lot of ODD people right here.
All right, so you just being for almost $900,000. You're a generous guy. You kick back 25K to the State Kings.
50K. Or wait, double their money.
25%, 50.
Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot about
I
that.
know, no public
second
math, but
part
you're
of the
trying to check
geometry.
my math. Stop that. All right, so
I gave away like 14K or something.
all right.
Yeah.
So like your life just has to change. Like I understand you're still creating content, but like you have to be in the public eye at this point. Like anything change at all, or is it still just like
My lifestyle never changed. What changed was that I had too much money to know what to do with, and I decided to scam myself for 400K. That happened. That was the real reason why.
how did you scam
Did you
yourself
back
for 400K?
Justin or me? Or what how did you do it?
I had a good friend of mine was like, hey, I gave this person like a lump sum for like basically a personal loan, and we have like a promissory note and everything's legit. He was promising like unrealistic returns, so it was like 400K at like 20% ROI, 25% ROI, and you get it for the term's only for 6 months. You get like the interest paid monthly for those 6 months, and then
Sounds
you
like
get
a
the lump sum
scam for
after.
sure.
Your good friend Bernie?
So my good friend gave this other guy his money, and he was getting his like monthly returns back. And I thought, okay, let me try. I just have like fucking over $1 million in my account. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. So let's just send half of it as an investment or punt. And it ended up being a punt. But mainly the whole like reason was because I just like banked this score. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. Should have bought Bitcoin at the time because now we're at all-time highs. But
Donald Pump.
yeah, I saw that tweet. Games must be good now.
So what happened to the guy? Anything? Did he go to jail? Or?
Well, he's just like a notorious scammer. Dustin, the closer, they call him Dustin Ob. And
Dustin, yo money.
Dustin owing me money.
This wasn't your buddy. This was the guy that your buddy
scammed
tested.
me.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
The guy promising the returns.
Yeah, we have like a promissory note and everything. I should probably pursue some sort of legal action. But I gave him a really good free roll like last year when I was really upset. I'm good with it now. I've lived with getting scammed and whatever. But last year I tweeted at him and texted him, hey, you can just have this entire debt clear if you beat me in a boxing match or a bare knuckle boxing match that's going to be live streamed or whatever.
Fantastic.
Like all of this can just be wiped away, and he didn't take it. So
Wow, he had a chance to get his ass kicked.
And his mind's like, it's already clear. I don't want to get my face punched in too.
it is mine. We have no debt.
By the way, anybody out there who's watching that's a potential scammer, poker players, best people to scam. We almost don't ever do anything about it. We just take our lumps and consider it a bad beat, and we move on. It's actually kind of fucked up. If like anybody else that I know growing up like got scammed out of $20, they probably would have like killed their dog over it. You know, like we're good to scam. So you know, come on with your offers in the.
I don't know if this is what we need to put out in public there.
Okay, it's just the truth.
It's
Actually,
truth.
you know what,
It's
poker
definitely
players,
true.
you need to get better, poker players.
Yeah.
Us three, we're never getting scammed again. But
Yes, we
other
will.
people.
We 100% will. It's terrible. But like, it's more because like I honestly think poker players in general are just more trusting and more trustworthy.
Naive.
In general, I do.
It's
believe
also
this.
just a velocity of money thing. Like, if you sit down and you forget your box key, someone's going to give you $50,000, no questions asked, to play poker with, because of your name and they've seen you every day for 5 years. But like, if you just happen to be out of money and you just happen to stop at every single casino in Las Vegas that day and looked for the highest stakes game and sat down and said, oh, I forgot my box key today. Can I just get 50? And then you just fucking take it and you leave. you could exit scam based on your name. I'm not saying you would, but I'm saying the velocity of the trust and the velocity of money is just there. Everybody has chips, everybody has cash, and it's just it's a recipe for disaster. Kind of
on that note, play table 1. No, sorry. This is probably
no box keys today. Sorry, guys.
yeah, if Justin forgets his key, he's good for it. I kind of sort of promise.
You should hard vouch this for sure.
I should officially put it on YouTube and hard vouch it. I'll think about it.
I mean, you're right. It's more commonplace for it to exchange money on like the word, but I also think the word matters a lot more because like once it's broken, it's a lot of ostracization. Even though it was kind of weak a decade ago, 15 years ago, but it's gotten quite a bit better with the police out there, and thank God for the Berkeys of the world and like people like those that like call out the scumbags.
I agree with that, and I still think I'll never make this, but so I'll just say I think it should be out there as a business. There should be a blacklist of poker.
Yeah,
there should be a credit line for gambling. So somebody out there who's technically sufficient and can make somehow they can basically, if you work for Experian or one of the credit agencies out there and you want to come and work in the gambling industry, like Justin will invest in
yours. My beer up. Come on, man.
And if I ever go on an upswing, I too will invest. But a credit line would be great and a blacklist for loaning for poker, because Jimmy Tran got me for 300 like 6 months ago, and I've been living here for 12 years. And I still don't know.
Wait. Jimmy Tran?
Jimmy Tran, yeah. His brother's coming in from the airport. I'm gonna get it back any moment.
What is wrong with you?
So much is wrong with me. For those out there who don't know who Jimmy Tran is, you're lucky.
Don't own a loan of money. We have a neutral balance. I've loaned him money 3 different times, but it took work all 3 times.
Oh, this was my only time, so I got that going for me.
All right. Well, that's
everybody pays the tax to this particular regular poker player that lives in Vegas. Anyway,
You got some work to do. I don't know who this guy is.
well,
That's good.
No.
I'll introduce
We
you.
used to call him Jimmy Knock.
You would love to meet me, I'm sure.
Jimmy Knock Tran, and I don't care. All right. So there's I can't remember who this. It's a ethos story or whatever, but like the person who is at the central of the story doesn't really matter. It's just one of those like fables that like you tell people. So like, you know, this guy that owes money all over town like wins a tournament, and the reporter comes up to him and is like, oh my gosh, like you just won $1 million. Like, you know, what are you gonna do with the money? And then he's just like, oh well, I owe some people money. And they're like, oh, okay, well, what are you gonna do with the rest of the money? He's like, well, those people are just gonna have to wait. Like it's what sometimes you get into those things, but yeah, it's just gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful. Oh, that's good. I've heard a version of that, and I like yours better. Okay, so you win all this money, you give some money back, you get scammed. Shout out to Dustin Hoffman or whatever his name was.
And fuck you, Dustin.
AAB.
And he's probably going to pay it back, you know, once he wins a tournament.
Yes.
Unless you're one of the people that has to wait. And
There's a long list.
Okay, so you put yourself back behind the 8 ball. Not that, you know, $500,000 is behind the 8 ball, but you know, it's a lot less than $1 million. So what do you do from there? Do you who else did you get scammed by?
Well, I haven't yet. I might currently actually be in the middle of one.
So we have
Talk about that later.
we'll talk about it later.
I forgot my box key.
Yeah.
It's right, that box room right over here. Yeah. Just need a short-term loan. All right, so, but this was how many years ago? 2021?
2 years ago. End
2022.
of 2022. No.
Okay, and then,
2 years.
but now it's all downswing season? You said the last, or is there some good shit in there between?
There's some good, some bad.
Because you started playing on like the big streams too, like the
Hustler for sure.
I've been playing that throughout like the past couple of years too, so that's been nice, and I've been lucky to win in the past there. No longer. Over the past year, I've definitely given back a decent chunk of everyone's money, so that's good.
Yeah, I remember glossing over your stuff and seeing you had like a road to $1 million because you had lost $1 million or something. And you're trying to recover, and there was something in there where you had sold action to the cash games, right? And like that was part of the downswing, or am I wrong about that?
Yeah, like my biggest win ever. Well, I don't know. My biggest win ever was $1 million game, I think, and I had like 25%. And then my biggest loss ever, I had like 80%. So not a good like kind of balancing of funds there.
Recheck that business degree.
I know. Shout out to you, Mouse. That really taught me well. So yeah, and then I ended up now I'm coming back to earth. It's because I've sunned for too long, and I'm realizing that I should lose. So I'm doing that. I'm doing my part in the math.
Do your part. If anyone out there has been sun running and wants to do their part, there's a poker game at Table 1 that Rampage sometimes plays at and vlogs it up, and then we blackmail him and make him come on the podcast. It's great.
That's true. But also, I don't know if the public knows this, but he just had a massive win, his most recent win. At
My first tournament win this year.
And it's November, so it's been a long year already.
A dry spell, 2024.
So he snapped off this dry spell. Do you want to tell the public what tournament this was?
I would like you to, actually. I think you're doing a good job at this.
So it was the charity...
I don't know how long you were going to drag this on for.
No. I also played in this event, but it's a charity poker series. They have a big organization. It's quite nice. They do a lot of good things for a lot of people. But it's Brandon Marshall, former linebacker of the Denver Broncos, which, to be honest, was the main reason I went. And I got to shake his hand and wear a Super Bowl ring, which I literally look at the picture every day since.
You should send it to me, and I'll put it in right here.
Yeah, I will. But either way,
Made your inner child very happy.
It really did.
Justin's all child. This inner child, he's outer child. The only thing that is of legal age of him is the ability to drink. And
my liver is
not a child.
412. Yeah,
420 proof liver.
That's good. But we were playing at Table 1, and he said he was going to go, and I was kind of on the fence. My inner child wanted to, but like I was kind of tired, and like I don't know. It's one of those just like got to do it. Just got to meet like one of the guys I rooted for this 6 years when he was with the Broncos, and I knew he was going to be there, so a little comforting as well.
Big Broncos fan. You're like, where are you going? It's like, oh, this charity event. And you're like, oh, this. It's like, yeah. I mean, like stars aligned for you to for sure show up.
Oh yeah.
I was happy that you went.
And he owns a wonderful barbecue place in here in Vegas, and it was well run, fantastically done. A lot of money went to the children, and on top of that, some of the money went to Rampage.
Yep, I went to donate, and I ended up winning the freaking tournament, which is not the goal. Like I wanted to make a conscious decision to like give back, contribute, like donate to charity more, and do more like good things with my time. Because poker, I feel like, is all about like taking and winning, and that's really the whole goal, and you don't really get to like give back. So I'm working on that. So this is like my first step, and then of course
You accidentally
accidentally win the tournaments, which is not what's supposed to happen.
And I agree, but like sometimes when you get to a certain point of the tournament, it's hard to click off the poker brain where you're like, it's more fun. Like this is all of a sudden like I really want to win now.
Now it's like competitive. Like
yeah, exactly. This is real. Like sorry,
my opponents are trying to win.
I apologize that you don't understand what the board says right now, but I'm going to put you all in because I know you have second pair.
I just sunned. It was. I've been asking for the sun for all year, and I knocked out 7 out of the 9 other players at the final table. Jeez. I didn't lose a single all tournament. That's what happens.
So you were in for the men. That's nice.
That's how you do it.
Man.
And that was a big score. Is that one going to go on the Hendon, you think? Is it?
It should.
It might actually go.
I know people at Card Player Magazine. I can at least ask them. How much was it for?
$2,500.
Oh.
His 13th first place?
My 13th win, yeah.
For those that don't know, it's quick rebuy action all the time. Like I think it was like $200, $400. I can't remember. But yeah, there was probably like 100, 120 people in this room. Like not to mention all the rebuys, and you got 2,500.
For the kids.
I mean, it's all for the kids. I'm not complaining they didn't get more, but he's trying to sun run.
I sun ran this one.
So clearly you tipped the $2,500 and
straight to the kids. Straight to the kids.
So you know what? Here, more for the children. Just give me the winner's photo, and I'll move on with my day.
But to be honest, like I know I'll say this truthfully, like even for a smaller tournament or whatever, sometimes like confidence means so much. So like maybe the next time you play is like like the actual like sun run like continues.
It's good for morale. Yeah, I
mean,
just
serious, like,
dusted 10K yesterday and
Oh,
stupid
jeez.
little tournament, but it's okay. But yeah, I'm building the equity. It's the morale and stuff. It's I don't even know how to bullshit my way out of it.
The win is coming
build you
up.
up
Maybe
right
you'll
now.
win that.
So yeah, the 25K is coming up again. I can just do that. Yeah, no, but yeah, for sure. Like, did it for. It's good for morale, of course, and like to finally like win anything is nice or cash anything. So that's good. It's good.
You should
Good
sell
to
to your
do.
next charity event.
I feel like you're talking to yourself right now, not us.
Should I
Like,
say-
it's good.
His next Steak Kings, he's gonna sell at markup to his next charity event. Take that, Sean Deeb. Talk about that.
That's so funny. Should do that. But that's a way for them to donate too. I'm actually helping more people because
Exactly.
more of that market will go to the charity.
Now we're cooking.
There you go. I like that.
Charity series of markup.
All right, so we've talked about past, current. Let's talk about future. Like I know the Wynn's coming up. The Wynn's got all kinds of great tournaments, but I also know the Bahamas has great stuff coming up. Where are you going to be?
I'll be in December. I'll be here.
Okay, I love it.
Yes.
Like I think
Go
the Wynn is
WPT.
the place to play. It'll
Seems
be
like-
tons of good tournaments, huge guarantees.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. One thing, I was kidding about the no Degen story. I have one. I would like to share one because this is kind of similar. You guys run a game in Aria. I think last summer was the first time I ever tried to run a game. Man, it was a disaster. It was really difficult. Getting people together, like me and Mariana ran a game at Resorts World, 2 tables, and we just like tried to get people in. And it's just like a lot of work, and some of it is actually like quite fun when the game's actually going, because then like, oh, people are here, gonna have a good time and whatever, and all the pressure is off in terms of like showing up and doing your job of getting people to show up. Anyways, I felt like a lot of pressure doing that, but ran a game. I get wrecked. We're playing 25-50, and I'm down 45K at this point. And then the last hand of the night, like Christian Soto's in here, and he hits a royal, which I pay off on the river, and now I'm down 50. And I'm like max tilt, drunk, lots of wine consumed, and then I have these very 2 easy 25K chips at Resorts World just sitting in front of me. So it was declared this is the literal final hand of the night. I lose to a royal, I take it, and I just book it to Crockford's. And
What is Crockford? Sorry, I'm old in Cork.
Crockford's is like the high limit like gambling area. at Resorts
Oh,
World.
okay.
Because Resorts is
Go
like
for it.
multiple casinos all in one or some shit.
I'm with you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go.
So I take the chips and I book it. And Mariano sees this, and he's like running after me, he knows what I'm
He
going to
didn't
do.
tackle you. Yeah, you should.
He's trying to tackle me, but I am sprinting full speed, and
So you're gonna
no
tackle you or record you.
no one's going to stop me at this. I go to Blackjack, stick it down. The limit says like 10K or whatever, and I'm like, okay, dealer, I'm putting 50 on this one hand. That cool? Floor, 50, this hand, this cool? Everyone confirms. They say yes.
So what if you get a hand to double down? What are you gonna do?
Run back to
I'm
find
fucked.
Mariano.
I don't
Okay,
know.
no, fair enough. I'm just more curious. Okay, sorry. No,
Yeah, I don't have a plan, dude. I just want the 50 back.
God, we should be friends. Okay, good. Yeah, this is fucking
Slam it. I get nods, confirmations that the hand is a go. Mariano finally catches up to me and is like, oh God. He sees the bet, he sees the dealer like getting the shoe ready and whatever, and this is a go. And the shoe gets dealt. Dealer has an ace, of course. Ace showing. Insurance, well, I don't have any money to insure anyways, so whatever. And then she peels it and then flips over like a face card, and I'm just dead.
Oh no!
And I'm just like out of breath, huffing, puffing from running. It's like, okay, this seems about right. This is fair. I just like got wrecked. I lost however many, 50K at 25.50 is an insane number, and then you lose that. So this is part of the risk.
Jesus.
I signed up for this.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, and the only thing that's bothering me, he didn't get the content, but now it's out there.
I didn't get the content, but what's better is that Mariano and I, we like solemnly walk back. Everyone's like, how'd you do? And I was like, I won. It was great. Just like slow rolling everyone. It was great. And everyone's like cashing out their chips at the cage. I have no more chips to cash out, obviously. And then I get a call from a 702 Vegas number. I'm just like, what the hell could this possibly be? Like annoying me at like 10 p.m. or something. I pick up and they're like, hello, this is the Resorts World cage. Is this Ethan Yao? I say, yes, hello. So you shouldn't have placed that bet or whatever it was. So
Telling me.
here's, I was like, yeah. So they're like, yeah, the limits or whatever, like you can't really place that bet and it's above the limit. So you have 40,000 or something, 25,000 waiting for you here. What? I think it was 25K max. I don't remember the exact specifics actually, but
They protected
I have
you?
a fat rebate coming.
Wow.
And I say, okay, see you soon. No questions asked. I show up.
I don't know if that feeling's got to be. That might be better than winning the WPT 25K.
I know. It was insane. It was
Wow.
show up, collect the money. I don't ask any questions, but apparently, like that limit on that board is like law, and there's nothing you can do about it unless you like call someone, get that officially changed, then you can bet more.
So do you think you would have got? I mean, you would have got paid and you would have left.
So
If you would have won.
Oh, you've been so
No.
tilted if you would have won.
No, I just get banned for sure from the property. I'm not giving
Yeah.
that.
They would they would offer that, right? They would say
Yeah, it's like,
you
you
can
can
either
never play
return
here
the money
again
or be
Something like
banned.
that.
That's kind of what they do when they overpay you in poker. That's happened
Oh, really?
a couple times to me at different properties where they're like, I mean, had to underpay. They've underpaid me as well, or whatever. I've
How
owed
does
them money.
under overpay happen in poker?
You
A
just
lot at the
the
cage.
cashiers are not the best sometimes, and they count the chips wrong, and they give you like 1,000 too much. Or I got actually 5,000 too much one time apparently, and I was like on vacation in Disneyland, and like one of my favorite cashiers almost got fired over at Bellagio, and anyway, yeah, they just make you pay it back, and they say. I asked them, I'm like, well, what if I don't want to? And they're like, well, that's fine, but you just won't be able to play at MGM properties anymore.
Right. It's kind of the same thing if you're at a poker table, whatever. You go all in for 20,000, I only have 10,000. I say call, but I don't do anything. They deal at the board. I lose. I'm just like, I just take the 10K and I just walk out. And there's like, that's just, your punishment is like you just can't come back. I mean, like, yeah, you get the 10K, but you'll never come back again.
You can't even you have to like help people to help.
A lot of people
you
don't know
cash out.
that about casinos. The
exactly.
money, just because it's on the table, is not really insured by the casino.
It's not. They will
Yeah,
not
then
protect
the
you.
other opponent, that player just gets screwed out of money.
Of course. Yeah, that's all they can do.
Well, no, they could just be good people and
Well.
be like, hey, we're printing infinite. Let's just give you something.
Yeah, and
that's right
that
and
may have
some
happened
wrongs.
in the past. I don't know. It's possible. But anyway.
That's a great gambling story. I do appreciate that. I'm so happy you got a little bit back. I can't imagine that range of emotions for that half hour.
I
Had it
won
been
money.
So crazy to me.
All I know is that I won money that day.
you
for
did.
sure. Yeah, I profited.
I just found money.
You did your best to make sure you lost $100,000, and the world is like, no.
Not yet.
Only 75. I'm so sorry.
Not yet, sir. You're still in action, buddy.
Yeah.
So other than the upcoming like win series and whatever, do you have any like plans for travel or poker or content that you want to share with the world? Anything you want to tout?
Teasers?
I've done a lot of traveling, and I think I'm actually over it. I just spent like 2 months in Asia, and just like living out of a suitcase and doing that for like 3-4 years is like really tiring. So I'm excited to just kind of stay in the States, and and also like online poker might be coming back in the States.
Yay.
Yes, it will.
The WPT thing, so that'll be fun. It's conveniently timed where I get to stay at home and maybe grind online or something and make some more content. I don't know, but I'm excited for that. I'm excited to just chill for a while.
Yeah, I like that. That's
Table One will be happy to have you a few times a month,
for sure.
surely. Like,
Yeah.
We'll be in touch. And
I mean, do you guys get people that watch to
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
come and play sometimes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun
definitely.
atmosphere for sure. It's fun. I really like how you guys make up different games every these bomb pots. It's
Yeah.
great. Because I like to, then I also incorporate it sometimes too whenever I play somewhere else. They're like, oh, this is a great idea. I was like, yeah, it's not my idea. I stole it.
Hey, the best ideas are stolen.
that's
man.
that's
You-
correct.
Like, I don't know, you guys ever play like the Indian version, or they call it
Oh,
Indian
yeah,
version?
the Indian poker, yeah.
Blind man's bluff.
Dude, I was like, I think that's the
PLO.
first like poker game I ever played. Was it's just one card, and like it's just like you smack it on your forehead, or you lick it and you smack it on your forehead,
And you bet against
and
the
like
other
you
guy.
bet, and you're just looking at everyone else, and like the
Yep.
guy that's raising has a 4, and you're like, well, clearly I have a 4. And then like you raise, and someone else raises you. You're like, God, do I have a 3? like what is going on right now?
Right.
Like and like it's all about liar's poker basically. It's a good game.
Yeah, I would play that. It's a little hard to enforce.
Just kind of
Everybody.
hold it up.
Well, that's why they call it Indian poker. It's like a feather on your
Oh,
head.
that's why they call it. I
yeah.
thought it was just like racist for some reason.
I mean, it's
That's
still kind of
kinda
racist.
racist.
It's still
It is
kind of
racist.
racist.
They don't call
But
it
there's a
Native
re-
American poker.
yeah, I played that. I introduced that version in a home game in Hong Kong, and like everyone loved it. So that was good. That
That's great.
was a big hit.
fantastic.
They were like, "Why Indian?" I was like, "I think they're racist." I don't know.
Some white guy invented it.
Yeah,
Well,
for
in Hong
sure.
Kong, they're probably thinking about the dot Indian instead of like the feather
Probably.
Indian. So
Yeah. The feather.
All right, that seems like the perfect place to end the podcast.
Seems fair.
Anything else? Everybody out there who is watching this knows where to follow Rampage, but in case they don't, where should they follow
Where do we go?
you?
The button right below this video, the table 1-1, just click the subscribe button. That's how you follow me.
There you go. Fuck yeah, thank you.
Yeah, love it. All right, was that the pod?
Thanks for having me on.
All right, bye guys.
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy, we working hard for this money. Whoa, you know I've been in my bag, yeah. Buddy, I got it like that.